just having a little look at direct experience today, because really we've got all this knowledge when we gather information about awakening and the truth of our being, but it's to directly experience that. And we've always got this, the way that we're used to experiencing, which is through a thought, and then it creates an idea of an I. But prior to that thought, there's an I. And this I is a universal I, is impersonal. So if you go to your direct experience of just what this I am feels like, this I amness that's here right now, we've got chance to look together at direct experience. So there's a natural sense of just amness, that you just are, and you don't go to a mind to check. So it's not a concept or an idea, which are just very superfluous. They don't have any essence, they don't have any depth. But this natural sense of I am is just a knowing within you, is your direct experience of being. So we can go to there, and the way we go to there is to be open to this idea. There's another way of having a little look, of feeling into what we are, rather than just thinking about what we are, rather than just automatically going to concepts and ideas. So it's to directly experience what's here when I say, are you aware? And some sense of coming backwards, of the attention coming into that direct experience of what you are. Sorry about the cat. By when I say, are you aware? There's just a direct experience of being aware. That's your true nature. It's just when this direct experience of being aware gets corrupted, was the word that just came. It gets corrupted by a very natural way of being in the world, of thinking, of creating through thought and experience. But it's to see that this then becomes a personal I, because we're having an individual experience. And what I'm pointing to is this individual experience is actually the one self experiencing on an individual level. There is no individual experiencer. So it's to feel into this I am, drop out of the head, have this open focus, drop into your heart center, so down, down, down. We create distance from the mind. And it's literally that place when I ask, are you aware, that your attention goes to. So if we can feel into that, this natural sense of I am, prior to thought, rested down in being, I am. So it's to have the intention to look there, because the habit is to go to a mind, is to jump up to mental activity about what that is, trying to work out what that is, this amness. Oh, is it, the mind will say, is that personal or not personal? Oh, I don't know. Is that, it's going to contrast and compare. So it's to let go of that. It's to have the intention, the heartfelt desire for the truth, not to allow the mind to be center stage and take over, because we're straight into a limitation on seeing. We're limiting our seeing through a mode of mental activity, through ideas and concepts, which aren't as deep as knowing. Knowing just is. It's prior to the mind, prior to mental activity. It's a felt sense. It's a deep inner knowing. So this I amness that you are, that everybody just is, effortlessly, right here, right now. This sense of just being is your true nature. So it's to stay with that when a thought arises. To stay, to be determined. Your heart's desire, not a personal will, not a contracted sense of self, but this inner knowing. It's to stay with that long enough for it to be revealed. So the important thing to see is it's not a grasping, it's not a doing, it's not a getting, because we're looking at what's already here. So it's a sense of being open to what's already here, to the idea that we don't actually have to go and get anything. It's not an attainment. Nobody's attaining enlightenment. You already are your true self. It's just that true self gets tangled up. Rises up with a thought of a separate self experience. That's fine to have a separate self experience, but to recognize what is the nature of that I. Is it actually, when we allow it to just be primary, to be unplugged from mental activity, from identification of this separate self-I concept, to look at what's actually here in reality? When you're open, rested back, not needing to get anything, and just having a little look at what's actual, what is in your reality prior to concepts. So what's actual, what's actually here? Just this sense of I am. And then it's not to add any more words or ideas to that, to be open to that feeling, that felt sense that comes after the words I am. To surrender to that, to not need to pick up a mind to work out what that is, to be committed, to have the intention to turn and look, to be faithful to the truth of your being. To fully recognize what's there when you don't pick up a thought about what's there. So this is the first two points I talk about on my self-realization course. I'm only on the first week this week. Starts the second week on Sunday. And it's the first group I've led through these fundamental points. And so this point is that what we're looking for is already here. And how to see that is to have the intention to see it. The heart's desire for the truth, coupled with surrendering to what's already here, not needing to limit what's here and go to mental activity just because it's been our default. So it's surrendering or allowing, coupled with intention. And you maybe want to feel into that, the heart's desire to recognize the truth. It's almost like a burning desire within. But the openness of not needing to know anything about it, surrendering to what's there and allowing it to flower, to unfold, all by itself, because there's no actual doer. There isn't anybody that becomes awakened. You already are awake. So it's just to recognize that. And that's how we recognize the truth of our being. And then that's just the beginning. Then it's to have these mini recognitions along the way. And again, using this heart's desire for the truth, to know fully what it is, even if we've just recognized it, it's then to know fully, to directly experience it, to keep choosing it, to have the intention to keep choosing. And to be open to it. So it's not in a got to get, because there's no doer. What you are is already there. It's just revealing itself. And there's only one thing here, so it's revealing itself to itself. It's just exploring its own experience of life. Okay, hope this helps. Thanks for watching.